by Syracuse head coach Gary Gait. We've got Spallina on that end, Billy Dwan III on this end. Get an opening statement from Coach, and then we'll take questions. Coach.
Yeah, always fun to come down and play Johns Hopkins. I think it's a game that everybody gets fired up for. Great atmosphere here today, and I thought, it wasn't the cleanest game, but we did what we needed to have success and walk away. Great effort by the defense, offense when we needed it, and happy to start spring break with the W.
Open it up for questions. You guys can just go.
Yeah, Nicholas Call from the Daily Orange. Coach, how much of the game plan was pushing the pace, and why did you kind of want to do that today?
Well, we after our last couple of games, we wanted to focus on bringing back some transition and scoring some goals that we didn't have to, possess the ball and play 6-on-6 the entire time. So I think we accomplished our goal today, and Billy with 2 big goals, exactly what we ordered up. So happy that he executed and we got it done.
Joey, 7 points today. What was working for you on the offensive end?
It's no secret we played terrible last weekend. I think we were just talking all week, right? Just kind of getting back to our flow, right? Of just dodging hard, trying to draw somebody and then kicking it forward. And I think we did a pretty good job of that. I think there's some things that we can still clean up. Obviously wasn't the cleanest game from us, but I have some great teammates with me, and I think today was the first time in a bit where we looked like ourselves. I think our middies do such an unbelievable and a pretty underrated job of dodging hard and drawing someone, and I think we just did a good job of that. So.
Billy, how do you describe what it feels like to score a goal on this field?
Yeah, it felt good. I felt better to get the win, obviously. But just for me growing up on that field, obviously pretty cool to play on it. And I was telling my teammates last night, me being at Syracuse and me rocking the orange and blue and everything like that's the best thing that's ever happened to me. So super happy that I got to play on that field in my college career, but obviously more fired up to get the win.
How do you describe how emblematic it is of this team's style that Finn would catch a ball on the doorstep and throw one more to a long stick on the crease?
Yeah, I think just the unselfishness. Obviously he probably would have loved to bury it, but heard me calling for it on the backside, or at least I hope he did. And he passed it one more, and obviously I put the ball in the back of the net. So yeah, just super fired up to get the win. But yeah, I just think it talks about how unselfish the offense is and how unselfish our team is.
Billy, what's gone into you being more in the attacking end the last couple of games? 3 goals in 2 games. Kind of what's gone into that?
Yeah, I feel like Syracuse is known for pushing transition, and I think that kind of fits my play style pretty directly. So for me, I just try to push the ball, have some fun with it. I think lacrosse is the fastest game on 2 feet, so I want to push the ball and have some fun with it. And yeah, just obviously my teammates give me great looks, and just put the ball in the back of the net the last couple of games, just huge for the team.
Billy withstood 50-plus shots today from Johns Hopkins. What do you think as a team was working on the defensive end?
Just obviously knowing who we're playing against, knowing what our guys' strengths are, knowing what their weaknesses are as well, what hands there are, a lot of Canadians, so obviously more skilled but more one-handed. And then just knowing their knowns and trying to shut those guys down. And for us, I think they have 72% of their goals were assisted going into this game, so trying to make them earn it a little bit more. And they definitely earned some of the goals that they had, and they're great offense. So.
Billy, how much improvement have you seen from some of the D-middies, guys who have played both ways, like Bogue and Tyler, and even just your standard D-middies?
Yeah, they're awesome. They've been grinding for us. We've been, the great defense is made up by great D-middies as well. So for those guys, they've been grinding super hard for us, and definitely super appreciative of all those guys. It's the guys that get time on game day, or the guys that don't get time on game day. So for us, that's kind of what makes our defense go around is those guys, and they're kind of the heart and soul of our defense. And they make myself, Riley, Beck, the rest of the polls, our job a lot easier.
Coach, having those 2 losses in Ivy League play and then having to survive Penn, how important was it to pick up not just a win but a convincing one today?
a win's a win. As far as I know, they all count the same. So, you know, we always say you just need to win by one, and that's what's important. But it's nice when you can get a bit of a cushion and kind of ride out the end of the game and not have to try and do it in overtime or the last seconds of the game. So it was a nice feeling. But, you know, we just came in here with our goal of getting a W, and we're leaving with one, so we're pretty happy.
Coach, Luke Rowe had a season high 4 points. When he's back in form, when he's productive, what does that do for your team?
Well, you know, that's a nice thing about this squad. You know, some days it's you know, it's different people. It almost seems like every game. You know, especially from our midfielders, sometimes it's, you know, Mike Hoddle's been the guy, Michael Leo, but you know, today Luke had 4 points and a couple big ones, and you know, it's just about being balanced. And some days you get the opportunities, and hopefully we can finish them. I thought we shot pretty well today.
Gary, a 12-8 game is kind of like, in my opinion, the most kind of generic game in the sense that offense played pretty well but not great, defense played really well but not necessarily great. What do you attribute I guess, what is the single most significant factor in the outcome? Why'd you guys win?
You know, the game definitely started out pretty sloppy. Like, clearing the ball was tough for both. We were, you know, a bunch of offsides. I think, you know, the atmosphere was pretty good, and the guys were pretty amped up, and I think it was that high energy that caused a lot of those mistakes. And, you know, I'm just glad we settled down and started making some plays, and I think that was definitely the key for us, just to get through that messy part and start executing, you know, Syracuse lacrosse.
Joey, 7 games in, 8 games to go in the regular season, 5-2. How do you assess it?
You know, I think as of right now, I think our first 4 games were pretty. I would say our first 3 games were pretty much Syracuse lacrosse, right? And the way that, you know, if we were to, you know, say how we are as a team, I think those first 3 games pretty much represent it. The 2 Ivy League games, I don't think were Syracuse lacrosse at all. And then Penn, I think we started to do it a little bit towards the end of that game. And then I think today was more of the first 3 games, and, you know, just having our middies who are all great 2-handed players, you know, really dodging hard and, you know, making it tough on the defense. And, you know, I think Hopkins, you know, slid to those guys a bit. You know, we knew that they were going to slide to them, and, you know, I think they did a great job of that. But, you know, I think we have to use this game to kind of propel us into these next couple games here. You know, we're excited to go out to Denver, but we have to use this game the right way, and I think we will. So,
Time for 2 more.
What's the itinerary look like for this Denver trip? Do you guys have any fun plans
We're-
outside the 2 games?
I'm pumped up. We're going to the Avalanche game on Tuesday. I'm so pumped for that. The Nate dog. I'm excited.
Any skiing?
Oh yeah.
Are you nuts?
We're all going.
Jesus.
No.
Wrecking your
Gary's joking.
Wrecking
We
your-
announced a couple weeks ago.
Maybe
Actually.
we'll go do a workout at Red Rocks or something like
Yeah.
that.
Sounds
Go up
good.
the stairs, yeah.
Perfect.
Any golf?
It's been winter so long, I forgot that golf exists.
I haven't seen the sun in a couple months.
It's supposed to be in the 70s there.
You know how fun
Week in
golf
10.
is.
Yeah.
All right, thanks everybody.
No.
And then